It's the Real Estate Podcast, across every state, city and town of Australia.
And welcome to another episode of the Real Estate Podcast, available on iHeartRadio and also Spotify and Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts from. It is a Tuesday, June the 28th for 2022. Coming up in just a moment, we've got a really interesting story this morning about a 5-year-old girl called Tara, who told her parents back in the day that she wanted to live in Tara Drive. And guess what happened next? Well, we'll find out. Also, another part to an already incredible prize package to the Hunter Valley we are giving away to one lucky Breakfast Club member. It could be you. Remember, you need 7 of these secret words, and I've got another secret word coming up. And we'll also be talking with Katie to find out what else is being added into this fantastic getaway prize package. I see on this day back in 2003, the very first Pirate of the Caribbeans, of course, starring Johnny Depp, hit the cinemas. It was directed by Gore Verbinski. And if you don't know who Gore Verbinski is, I suggest you watch a movie called A Cure for Wellness, which he made back in 2017. Great film.
Grab your coffee and switch on your real estate breakfast every weekday morning from 6:30. It's the Main Centre forecast with propertybuyer.com.au.
All right, let's have a look at weather for Sydney. Good morning to you. Expecting a possible shower, and 17 degrees is your forecast high. Melbourne, good news, mostly fine and 14 degrees. Brisbane expecting a little bit of cloud cover and a dry day with 21 degrees. And in Perth expecting a mainly dry day with cloudy conditions and 18 degrees is your forecast high. Now, if you're travelling or soon to be catching a flight around Australia or indeed internationally, in the last 24 hours there's been more negative press around Boeing 737 MAX aircraft. Previously, there's been 2 of these planes that have crashed. Personally, I will not fly on any Boeing MAX 737. That's now extended to any new MAX Boeing full stop. And if you're not sure what's going on with these aircraft, there is an excellent documentary on Netflix. It's called Downfall, The Case Against Boeing, which tells you everything that you need to know about what happened to those 2 737 MAX planes. And more importantly, the film documents the lead up behind the scenes going back years with Boeing's history. It is a must-watch documentary. It was made in 2022 and it breaks it all down very succinctly and easy for you to understand.
From first home buyers to property investors and everything in between. Every morning on the Real Estate Podcast.
And a great story last week from PropTrack about a little girl's dream of buying a property in a special place. Now let me explain. When Tara Jones was a child, she dreamed about living in Tara Drive. And there was something special about living in a street that shared her name. Then magically, 2022 came along, and this is the magic sauce. Her wish came true when her parents secured a property in, of course, Tara Drive. And Tara is joining us this morning. Good morning, Tara. Great to have you on the podcast.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
So what was it about Tara Drive that just got you on this sort of mission, I guess, to wanting to live there?
Well, I guess it's just sharing the name with it. And my brother, his name's Patrick, and there was always a Patrick Street in Hobart, and we'd drive past it all the time. So the idea of living on Tara Drive was just always a dream.
So tell us a little bit about the property that your parents have bought, because I understand you've got a bit of a room there now. It's a reasonable sized 5-bedroom house. So what's the story with the bees?
Yes, my dad keeps bees here in Lindisfarne, but because the new property's got around 5 acres of land, he's really hoping to expand his business, I guess we can call it.
Well, it is such a interesting story there, Tara. Let's bring in the property consultant from Petrusma Property, Anita Fitz, who was joining us this morning. Good morning there, Anita. Welcome to the podcast.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me.
You've probably not heard this sort of story before, somebody wanting to buy in the same street or road as their name before, right?
No, I hadn't. When I was chatting with Tara's parents at the open home, instantly she told me how it was always a childhood dream of her daughters that couldn't make it to the open home that day, and that she'd always wanted to live in Tara Drive, and they were so excited. And I knew at that time that they were going to put a contract in on the property. And yeah, so when it all came confirmed and Tara finally got to have a look at the property, it was really quite a lovely story, and you could tell that really was a dream come true for Tara and for the whole family.
And I understand that there was a bit of interest too in Tara's new property, plenty of active bidders and interest.
Yes, we had over 20 parties through to the open home. There was plenty of interest around. Being a acreage property, it does select a select market in Hobart and Tasmania, setting on 5 acres. But yeah, plenty of people coming to visit the property and showing interest.
So what happens next? Because you've bought Tara Drive, but it's not your home. So when you come to buy, what's going to happen? Are you going to move just 2 doors down from mum and dad, or have you got a plan?
Well, I don't know if I could afford in the same area at my age, but I reckon I'll stay there for a little while yet, finish uni, and then, see where I go after that.
Now, you're coming up 18 years of age. I did have a quick look, and I saw that there is a Jones Street in Burnie. Would that appeal?
That could definitely do something.
Yeah, and I also found that there's a Tara Street. I think it's Hobart.
Oh, is there?
You don't know this?
I feel like I might have mentioned it or something.
South Hobart, Tara Street. So I thought, well, let's throw a couple of options up for you. You've probably got a few years to think about it.
Yeah, Tara Street's the way to go then.
And what about that, Anita? Tara Street in South Hobart. Perhaps you could hook her up when the time is right.
Yes, Tara Street in South Hobart, and there's also a Patrick Street in the city as well. So maybe I'll hook them both up with a new property in either one of those streets.
Yeah, so maybe what happens is you give us a call back when you buy that property in a few years' time, and we'll bring everybody up to speed.
That sounds like a great story there.
All right, well, look, thanks for jumping on the call with us, and all the best of luck for the new home. I hope it all goes well.
Yeah, thank you. A few days till we move now, but it's getting quite close.
Well, thanks again, and all the best of luck. You've managed to secure that childhood dream. Not everybody gets to do that with property, that's for sure.
No, they don't. I'm very lucky. Thank you.
I understand that you're selling a schoolhouse that has been transformed. That is on your books at the moment. What's that about?
Yes, about to go live tomorrow. I'm so excited. It is the original Sanford schoolhouse in School Road, and my client, he bought the property just over 3 years ago, and it was a renovation that had started from the original schoolhouse, but it still looked very much like the original schoolhouse in the late 1800s, and it has now been transformed into an absolute modern masterpiece.
Good on you, Anita. Thank you for joining us this morning, and who knows, bit of business coming your way from Patrick and Tara in the future.
Yes, looking forward to it. Thanks so much for having me.
We are just as addicted to property as you are. It's the Real Estate Podcast, across Australia, 7 days a week.
And we must make mention of the Hunter Valley Wine and Tourism Association for this wonderful Hunter Valley Prize package that we're giving away. We couldn't do it without them. One lucky Breakfast Club member, which could be you, could win it. So much in this package. And let's go to Katie this morning. Good morning, Katie.
Yeah, good morning, Craig. Thanks for having me back again. It's great to be on.
Boy, they are just mounting up one after the other. You keep making this getaway weekend spectacular. So what have you got for us this morning?
Yeah, thanks, Craig. Look, I know we keep saying weekend, but honestly, I feel like there's so much to do in this prize. Every day we keep revealing something else that you may have to come back.
Several times.
Exactly. So today I'm really excited to reveal another food component of the prize. Today's prize reveal is a lunch for two at Esker Bimbadgen. Now, this is their signature experience. It's a 5-course degustation with matching wines. So you're probably not going to need dinner on the night that you choose to have this lunch.
Okay, that sounds really, really good. And there's another component to this as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So the 5-course degustation will actually, each course will be paired with a premium single vineyard wine from one of Bimbadgen's 2 distinction vineyards. And they will walk you through each of the vineyards as you're having lunch. So you get to hear more about the wines, the food, and the property. They're an amazing winery. The local Indigenous meaning of Bimbadgen is actually a place of good view, and it doesn't disappoint.
Well, thank you for that, Katie. And today's secret word is 5. F-I-V-E. That is your secret word. Of course, you need 7 of these secret words to go into the draw for the Hunter Valley Getaway experience.
We connect you to the best real estate information across Australia. The Real Estate Podcast.